Good afternoon and happy Wednesday, everyone. We've made it halfway through another week of quarantine. We're doing this together. And I have another craft for you. My name is Abby Device. I'm with the Fairport Public Library, and you can do this craft if you have paper in your house. So let's get started. All right, so like I said, you don't really need anything except for paper for this one. You're gonna need 2 sheets of square paper, one slightly smaller than the other one, because we're gonna make both a lid and a base to this box. So I'm gonna walk you through making the smaller piece. I am using scrapbook paper because I have a ton of scrapbook paper lying around the house. I tried it, I didn't keep up with it. I hope I'm not alone in that. So I've got the scrapbooking paper. I've got another one in a corresponding pattern that I already made the lid out of. So I'm going to show you step by step on how to do this. Now, when we are making the lid to the box, it is the exact same steps as we're doing right now. So you can just do one after the other and use slightly bigger paper for the lid. So to start off, I cut this paper. I took about 1/2 centimeter off on 2 sides, the top and the one side, to make it square, and then I folded it to make it square. But that is going to lead us into our first folds for this origami box. So we're going to do this way, and then we're going to do this way. So I am not a perfect person. I did not make a perfect square. I don't think there's any way I ever could make a perfect square on here, but I did my best. And we're gonna go with what we work with. The good thing is that it's homemade, so nobody's expecting it to be perfect, and most of the imperfections are gonna be hidden inside the box. So the color that you want on the outside is gonna be on the outside, so we're gonna be working with the white for now, and that will be the inside of the box. So we've got our first cross, that's our first folds. Now the second folds we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bottom edges and we're gonna bring them into the center, and we're gonna make these little triangle shapes. Now, like I said, I'm not perfect, so these are not gonna be just how I want them, but the important thing to know is that you do not want overlapping. So along these edges here, you don't want your paper to overlap because that will mess up when we go to fold the box later. But you're gonna do this on all the sides, bringing them into the corners in the middle as best as you can without overlapping. Some white of the inside of the paper may show, but if it does, like I said, it's the inside, so try not to worry about it too much, even though I will. I would be lying if I said I wasn't gonna be annoyed by it, but you know, that's just me. And I hope you guys aren't held by those standards. So we've done 2 folds so far. Well, more than that, but 2 types of folds. We've gone sideways and this way, lengthways. I called that a hot dog fold. Well, sort of. And then we've done the 4 in. This is very similar to when we used to make those like fortune tellers or cootie catchers when we were kids. I know I wasn't the only one who made those, so. All right, so those are our steps. Now we'll move on to the next one. And that's going to be to take the bottom part of this and fold it up along with the line of this fold on all 4 sides. So the thing to pay attention to in this is that these sides are lined up. You don't want it to be crazy out of the box here. These should make a square still. All right, we're gonna do that on all 4 sides of our box base. And now scrapbooking paper is very thick. If you are using computer paper, which you can do, you just have to make sure you make it into a square. It's going to be much easier to fold. Or if you're using actual origami paper, which is an option, it's going to be much easier to fold for you. All right. And then excuse me, I've got a dry throat today. I'm tired of being indoors, you know? All right, so we've done that around all 4 sides. Now's the part where we're gonna fold it into the box. So you're gonna pull out the sides to 2 sides. It doesn't matter which 2 sides you do. You just wanna make sure that what you're folding is across from each other. We don't want these, we want these, all right? So we're gonna open our sides and we're gonna turn it like this. Now this is the most complicated part of the process, and I will show you with each corner, so it should not be too hard. But if you want, you can go through and watch it again just to confirm. But now is the time that we're going to use all those folds that we've created already. And you can see if I open it all up, you can see like our grid work of folding. So now I'm going to do this side first so that this little thing doesn't get distracting. So you can see here, this square is cut by half color and half white, right? So this corner up here is going to fold over to this part right here. And we're going to do that. You can see right like that. Now, this is not how it's going to look. You have a crease in here that we're going to use to make a corner here. So it's basically, I'm making a line crease down the middle of those two triangles that we have. So this corner goes over here, and then we're going to fold this so that it comes up like that. And now we have a new triangle. Let's do it over here. This corner is going to go over here. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera. And then this corner is going to come up so that that fold lines up like that. All right, so we've got two sides coming in like this. It's almost like the new takeout containers that you get from places that are using recycled cardboard. All right, so then we have this little house point, and we're gonna fold that over these and push it down. Make it nice and creased. You wanna have sharp edges. And there is your first side. So now we're gonna do that again on this side. So we're gonna open it up, this corner on the outside to the center right here. There we go. And then this corner to that corner. And that's a crease that we didn't make, so we're just gonna manipulate it a little bit to make it nice and sharp. So one more time, this corner to this corner, and then this corner to that corner. There we go. Now this is where you can see some of the imperfections of me folding and cutting, because it's not going to be perfect. But now we're going to fold this house part over into the base. There we go. All right. Now you can go around and sharpen up the corners a little bit. Make them nice and tight. Push this in there. Now, you do not have to glue any of these corners down. If you want, and it's driving you crazy, you could put a little double stick tape on those and paste them down, but you do not have to do that. The box will still stay structured as it is. So you can also put a little tissue paper in there if you like to cover up any kind of imperfections you have. But that actually turned out much better than I was expecting. I was expecting to have a big white cross along there because I did not cut this into a proper square. But I'm gonna grab the lid that I made earlier out of a different color paper. Like I said, I did not cut this paper, so I'm using scrapbooking paper, like I said. For the lid, I didn't cut it at all because most scrapbooking paper already comes in a square shape. I just left it as it was, but I did the exact same folds on here. You can see that I did on the little one. But because it's a little bit bigger, the little one will fit directly inside of it. You can see that. There we go. So there is a nice little homemade box that you can use for gifts. If you're making jewelry or if you've bought jewelry, it's a great thing to hold. You can store it on your dresser. That's what I use. I use one of these boxes for earrings that don't go well on my earring rack. I like the pegs. I'll keep in here so that they stay safe and they don't get separated. But there you go. It is that simple to make a top and a bottom of a box with just paper that you have laying around the house. There you go. And just like that, you are a maker of boxes. This is Ollie, everyone. Can you say hi? Now, I don't recommend this technique to make cat litter boxes, but you can use wrapping paper to make bigger boxes for Christmas or for your birthdays. Or if you're a gentleman out there and you're creative and do it yourself, you could make a ring box for an engagement of some sort. But whatever you make, I would love to see it. I'm a little disappointed nobody has shared their crafts with me. If you're doing other crafts that are not the ones on these videos, share those too, because it's a great way for us to connect together. So I hope you enjoyed the craft this week. Next week, I'm moving. Yes, I'm moving during a quarantine. I guess I'm a sucker for punishment. So my video may be a little bit different in time, but I'm gonna do my very best to get one out at noon on Wednesday. So I hope you guys are all safe and healthy, and I can't wait to be with you again soon at the library. Bye-bye.